Hey, I'm Joe McNamee, expert real estate investor, retired Army officer, author of Timeless Real Estate Investing, and founder of Absolute Investment Training Company. I'm just sitting here with you today, just a little bit casual shot here. Just going to talk to you a little bit about my new book that I'm just putting out called Timeless Real Estate Investing, where I teach you how to buy real estate without using your money, your credit, or a lender of any type. Now, typically, you'll hear no money and no credit, and what they mean is go out and find a private lender. What I'm telling you is no lender at all, no banks, no private lenders, no hard money lenders, no lender whatsoever. But more importantly, in the book, I also teach you how to have it sold before you buy it. It's way more important to have your property sold before you invest any time or effort, or if you do put a little bit of money in it, then you want to have it sold first. It's extremely expensive when you don't follow those rules. In today's market, banks are not able to write checks like they used to be able to. So the old idea of buying a piece of real estate, holding on to it, maybe doing some repairs to it, and then turning around and looking for it to get sold and using someone maybe that you're paying on a commission basis or whatever to sell it for you, those days are gone right now. They'll be back again, but when? Who knows? 2, 3, 5 years? We don't know. But the bottom line is, we're teaching you not to be able to do this without using any type of lender. And I can't stress to you how important it is to understand to put your buyers in place first. And a lot of times my buyers have paid me up front before I even have a house for them to buy from me. So I just want you to know that a little bit different out there, those are things that you don't see normally. Okay, a little bit of my story. I've done nearly 2,100 deals. Matter of fact, I think I'm over 2,100 now, but it's running close right there. But that's what I've done in my life. I grew up in the real estate investing world. My parents were investors. They were doing creative things with real estate when I was a little kid, and I grew up in that household. Now, mom and dad always made mistakes with the money they made. If they made $5,000 or $6,000 off of a deal back in the 60s, then that, in their minds, meant that they had $10,000 or $12,000 to spend. So I just want you to know I grew up really tough, moved around, moved 47 times in my life, 19 times by the time I was 19 years old, and a lot of those moves were in and out of pieces of real estate that my parents were doing creatively. 20 years before anybody was teaching any of the creative stuff that you see or have seen back in the 80s and all the way up to today. Well, in my life, in my world of doing real estate investing, I figured out several techniques that work through time, through several recessions. I've built my real estate investing company now much, much, much stronger and larger in the worst recession in U.S. history. I've built several companies that way in the worst recession in U.S. history. So I'm telling you that there's something a little bit different about us. A lot of my stuff at the basic level is in my book, Timeless Real Estate Investing. This book will get straight to the point. There's no fluff, there's no wah wah wah, kind of like Charlie Brown's parents on the old cartoons. There's none of that stuff. Each point is made directly. Several people have already read it, they love it, they've pointed that out to me, saying it back to me, and I never thought about it that way, to be honest with you. I just like getting straight to the point and making sure people understand how to do the different techniques that I do. And this is basic level stuff. This is not my advanced stuff. This is my basic stuff, but you got to build that solid foundation under your real estate investing business using these techniques. Now, not everyone is interested in being a real estate investor, and I get that, and of course, quite honestly, if everyone were interested in that, then it wouldn't be as profitable as it is for me and my students, or my students and I, whatever that phrase is supposed to go like. And don't tell my second grade school teacher that I don't know, because she might come after me still. Anyhow, so this book is teaching you how to do this at the basic level, and it's going straight to the point. It's extremely lucrative business to do, but if it's not your passion, use some of the techniques that you'll learn out of this book to quickly fund whatever your passion really is. Maybe your passion is to promote your book or your cause or your message. Maybe you want to write a book and you haven't written it yet. Maybe you want to build a prototype of an invention. Maybe you already have all that and you just need some funding to market it. I'm telling you, in this book, do those techniques right there. You will get plenty of income from those if you do them right, follow them right, and don't give up, that will fund your passion for whatever it is. So you can use real estate as the vehicle to get you to wherever you're wanting to go. So let me talk a little bit more about the benefits. The most important thing to me in this business and what this book offers is helping people. I am all about helping people. I've retired twice in my life. It's not all it's cracked up to be. I do this because I enjoy it, not because I have to do it. And I'm trying to get my message out as much as I can. So it was pointed out to me that I needed to write a book. I'd never even worried about doing that. I'd written plenty of training programs, both hard copy, scripts for my training systems, their take-home study. I do a lot of different live events, and I never thought about writing a book. So it never became so obvious to me as it did back in last October. So I sat down and wrote the book. Took me, a week and a half to get the book written. But it's right to the point, and it's all about designed, in my whole program is designed just to merely help people. Now, I always tell everyone, I'm not a charity organization. I make money doing what I do, and the techniques in here certainly make a very good income. Now, I don't know you, you don't know me, I don't know you yet. So I don't know what you can do or can't do. I don't know what your motivation, I don't know what resources you have to work with. I don't know where you're at in your mind as to whether you can follow this training or not. But the bottom line is, this book will show you what I do and what my students do at the very basic level of this business. And there's several examples. We even have several examples of checks in there that are mine at the basic level that follow only what these techniques are, and the same thing with some of my students. So you get to see proof, you get to see low-end proof and some upper-end proof for the pre-kindergarten stuff, I like to say. The next part is I want you to realize that in your community, by being able to do something that no one else in your community knows how to do, it gives you, I like to refer to it as hero status. Now, I'm not trying to be vain on this, but when you can solve people's problems, and that's what you're all about, that's what you're learning how to do from this book. You're learning how to solve people's problems, whether it's the seller, it's the buyer, or if it's a professional who needs some assistance, attorneys who desperately need more closings to happen. Could be realtors that are involved, could be contractors, could be just landscapers, several different trades. You can be the hero to your community. It could be your church. It could be several members of the congregation who cannot get their house sold and desperately need to, or they're trying to buy a house and not live in an undesirable area, and they'd like to buy a nice house in a nice neighborhood, but the banks can't write checks, and so they can't qualify for a loan like they used to be able to. So this book solves those problems with no problem. You're the messenger, you're the one doing it in your area, so it can create hero status for you. The other thing is I want to talk to you about is, I've kind of created this, not publicly saying it to everyone, but this mission. It's a personal thing going on with me inside. There's been more than 12 recessions since the Great Depression. And all of those recessions have, I'd say most of those recessions have had a major player that's helped pull America back out of the recession completely, and they've been able to do it through real estate. So real estate has solved recession issues in the past. Well, this time it's different. This recession, even though some experts will say we're not in a recession anymore, well, tell that to all the people out there that don't have jobs, can't afford things, and tell that to the people that they owe more than their house is worth. Just tell all that to them. Well, the effects of the recession can be easily cured by us. Washington can't do it. This is not a job for the government. This is a job for entrepreneurs. This is our responsibility to help cure America's problems in our economic situation right now. So I'm personally training an army of investors across the United States, starting out with the use of this book to get them up and running and understanding what to do, and then they get as big in the investing world as they want based on more training and opportunities that I have available for them. Now, if they don't want to do any more than what they can do in that book, I don't care. Let's all just try to do something to help ourselves and help get America back on its feet again. We need to be on top and stay on top. And we never need to let our guard down again. So this book helps people help cure America. So again, work with me, become part of my army of investors. We're a family, we're a group of investors. We train together, we work together, and we solve issues together. Now, something I haven't mentioned before, so I'll go ahead and mention it now. In the book, there's a gift. It's a $200 value gift. So when you get the book, there's a $200 free offer in there, valued at $200. So when you get the book, read the book. I recommend you read it 3 times. I want you to get it deep in your mind as to exactly what I'm saying, why what I'm doing works, and how it works, and understand that that's a solid foundation to build underneath of any real estate investor's business. So being able to buy real estate and using funding to do that and fix it up and sell it for a profit, that's okay, and I've done that hundreds of times. But you have to have a strong foundation underneath your business for when Murphy's Law kicks in. You have to have a strong foundation underneath your business for when you're not, let me back up, when you're not forced to rely on other pieces of the industry for your business to work and for you to be able to go out and help people and change people's lives, when it's solely can be handled by you and you alone, or you and a few people within your company, and don't take that as thinking you have to have employees or anything like that, because you don't, to do this business. But when you can go out there and do this business, solve these problems, you are helping yourself build a solid foundation under your business so that no matter what goes on in the economy. Let's go back to the late 70s, early 80s. Banks couldn't write checks back then either, but it wasn't for the same reason. Back then, they couldn't write checks because interest rates were so high that people couldn't afford what the payments were. So again, the deal couldn't happen. So a lot of stuff was created back then or reinvented back then. And so I'm here to tell you, in the 60s, my parents were doing a lot of stuff that was never taught out there in any type of formal environment, but people were doing things that started getting taught in the 80s. So when you can eliminate the need for banks, you can eliminate the need for any type of lender and build a solid foundation in your business so that you always have that to do, in addition to other techniques that you learn down the road, or if you already know some, then your business will be solid. So the gift is $200 value in there. So with all that said and done, the book is the first place that you start. It's $17.95, and the first thing that you should do is buy the book, take advantage of the free offer, read the book 3 times, and then anything that you want to do above that, give us a call. We'll be happy to help you. One of the other things that I want you to know about me is I do my live deals in front of my students' faces. It's very unusual to see that. So, and I'm not talking about 1 or 10 or 30 deals. I'm talking about hundreds of deals. I've been recording my deals for many years, video recording them. My students get access to those videos, so they get to watch live negotiations on my stages while I'm in my events. Not just a telephone call or not just a story about what happened, but they watch me negotiating with my live buyers and my live sellers. So there's not a we're not talking about theory, or we're not saying what we know will work. We are telling you and showing you by teaching you how to do it and then doing it live right in front of your face. I can prove that and back it up with hundreds of recordings over several years of doing that same thing. So again, buy the book, then take advantage of the free offer. I'm Joe McNamee. Thank you. How long was that?
15 minutes.